try and keep your cheering and your response very low, especially while presenters and debaters are making their presentation, so your feedback does not interfere or even distract them from making their point. Thank you very much. We would like to take from Western Delta University our very enigmatic Christopher. So please put it
impartial panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, and my agent. I'm Israel Christopher, a soldier from Western Delta University. Yet it supports the motion which says Nigerian Vision 2020 is only practicable if the present rural-urban migration is reversed. Rural-urban migration means movement from the countryside to the city. If we do not reverse this rural-urban migration, then our Vision 2020 will only be a mirage. The following are some negative problems associated with rural-urban migration. First of all, infrastructural challenges as a result of rural-urban migration. Also, overcrowding in the cities as a result of rural-urban migration. The emergence of ghettos in the cities and even slums as a result of rural-urban migration. Family structure as a result of rural-urban migration. Neglect of rural communities as a result of rural-urban migration. Health-related epidemics as a result of rural-urban migration. Talking about lack of infrastructural challenges. The movement of people from rural areas to urban areas can put a strain on the city's infrastructure. Taking for example, we all know that our city's infrastructure facilities is not buoyant enough, and the movement of people from the rural area into the city will stretch the already strained infrastructural facilities. Take for example, 3 streets sharing one transformer, and then you get electricity supply which is as bright as the light of a cigarette. And also, when you see people in buses, according to Fela Kolako's song, when he said suffering and smiling because of the overpopulation in Lagos, I quote him, "Every day, my people stay inside bus, 29 sitting and 99 standing." End of quote. It is because of the rural-urban migration that causes this, and this is not what Vision 2020 is all about. Vision 2020 is all about mass infrastructure. There should be development in the rural sector and not only the urban sector. Are you trying to tell me that this Vision 2020 is only for the cities, is only for the urban sector? The answer is strictly no. Let's move over to overcrowding. Because of the emergence of people into the urban area, this results to overcrowding in the urban area. And because of this overcrowding, some people will not be able to afford the rent of houses. So many people will be forced to form chances. And this leads us to the emergence of slums and ghettos. The emergence of slums and ghettos are as a result of lack of accommodation for these rural migrants. When people migrate from rural areas to the urban area without any accommodation, it leaves them with no other option but to form ghettos and slums. Let's take a place like Wagalada in Abuja. That place is a ghetto. This does not tell well for the federal capital territory of any G20 nation. We should develop our rural sector so that we will not be having ghettos and slums in our cities. Also, neglect of rural communities. When people move out of rural area, the lower population can prevent the area from developing. According to Bruce Weber et al. In the journal Review of Agricultural Economics, he said, and I quote him, "Existing business will not expand but often fail entirely if in the presence of sufficient consumers. The lower population can prevent an area from being developed." Taking Ilisan Remo as an example, Babcock University has done a lot in the lives of these people. Assuming this university was not cited here, this rural area would not have been developed. So what are we talking about? Are we encouraging rural-urban migration when there is a school like Babcock University in this place? Are we saying that rural-urban migration is not good, but we are migrating from the urban to come and receive education in the rural sector? What are we saying? When we even Okada University is located in a rural area. Even my school, Western Delta University, is located in a rural area. That is what I mean by reversing result of health epidemic. As a result of rural-urban migration, people fall ill because of lack of healthcare services. When people fall ill because of lack of healthcare services, we have lost a lot of revenue as a result of rural-urban migration, and we are in the verge of losing more if we don't stop rural-urban migration. Thank you and God bless.
Distinguished guests, the judges, timekeeper, co-debaters, ladies and gentlemen, good day. I am Solushile Christina, representing Babcock University. With emphasis on the two keywords, only and off, I would like to implore my fellow intellectuals to critically examine the topic, the motion I'm speaking against, which states Nigeria's Vision 2020 is only practicable after the present rural-urban migration is reversed. Two questions arise. Does the reversal of rural-urban migration equate the attainment of the Vision 2020? The topic also implies that except this reversal is completed, the Vision 2020 is not practicable. To this, my opponents and I say no. I hereby advance my argument on the fact that the reversal of rural-urban migration is not a guarantee for the attainment of the Vision 2020 with the following points. 1. The reversal of rural-urban migration does not tackle other pressing issues in Nigeria. 2. The reversal of rural-urban migration in the absence of social amenities does not advance the attainment of the vision. 3. With a time limit of 6 years, 9 months, it is unwise for Nigeria to abandon other policies and programs for the reversal of rural-urban migration. And 3. Massive institutionalized public sector corruption is not attributable to rural-urban migration. First, ladies and gentlemen, even if rural-urban migration is reversed, does this tackle other pressing issues in Nigeria like corruption, capital flight, brain drain, low human capital development, and other pressing issues that stand as obstacles for the attainment of the Vision 2020? The redeployment of citizens from urban areas back to rural areas, as the topic implies, certainly does not ensure the practicability of the Vision 2020. I hereby submit that rural-urban migration, the reversal of rural-urban migration, is not significant for the attainment of the Vision 2020. Secondly, removing people from these urban areas to the rural areas in the absence of social amenities ensure the attainment of our great vision. Why then do we place the cart before the horse by seeking the reversal of rural-urban migration rather than fostering policies and programs to ensure the provisions of these necessities, which the topic for today does not provide for? I hereby insist that fostering the reversal of rural-urban migration is equal to treating the symptom, not the disease. Thirdly, with a time limit of 6 years and 9 months for the attainment of the vision, it will be unwise for Nigeria to focus on rural-urban migration, to focus on reversing rural-urban migration, a process that has no quantifiable economic contribution for the attainment of our vision. I hereby recommend that the government should focus on fostering and ensuring that we invest our resources, all that we have and our efforts, into quantifiable resources, quantifiable initiatives that will ensure the needed contribution to our economy and the attainment of our proposed vision. Some may argue, as I conclude, that rural-urban migration contributes to crime in our cities. But I put it to you that the petty stealing and burglaries perpetuated by city magnates is not the impediment to the attainment of our vision. Rather, it is the massive institutionalized public sector corruption that impedes the attainment of our great vision. As I conclude, my standpoint is today is that without the government spending quality time on policies to reverse rural-urban migration, the vision at hand can still be attained. I hereby recommend that our government should invest its time and resources on other pressing issues that my colleagues and I have acknowledged as defeating the proposed vision we are hereby discussing. As I leave, I agree to the point, the factors that my opponents are raising. But my point, like I said earlier, is rural-urban migration is the point, is the discourse for today. And my colleagues and I are saying, without the reversal of rural-urban migration, the vision 2020 can still be attained. Thank you.
Greetings, moderators, panel of judges, accurate timekeepers, my co-debater, and of course my lovely audience. I am here to speak on the motion which says that Vision 2020 is only practicable after the present rural-urban migration is reversed. When there is mass migration from the rural settings to the urban settings, these migrants are usually facing problems of social and all-round aspects, which of course my colleagues here have actually been able to highlight to you here today. Today, I shall be talking, however, on the aspect of the prospect which could be the solution that will be provided to these problems. One of them are, the list of them are one, creating employment opportunities to reduce the mobility of labor, to reverse this rural-urban migration, two, promoting agriculture and farming in order to avoid poverty among the rural people. Three, improving on transportation and communication network in rural areas. Four, improvement of infrastructural development by constructing modern schools and hospitals in rural communities. Five, improving on security and providing security services in rural areas in order to promote peace among the rural settlers. Six, making land reforms to enable the poor and low-income earners get access on land. And seven, sensitizing people on the effect of rural-urban migration and how they can develop themselves in villages. Eight, and lastly, providing credit facilities in rural-urban areas to enable easy accessibility on finance. I shall be talking on them. Stakeholders actually have the ability to encourage these farmers to be able to raise up these cultures, improve their farming cultures and occupation by providing improved seedlings whereby they can be able to farm and also create produce that could enable them have an occupation rather than running to the cities in search of greener pastures. And also, security could be provided to these villagers to make them feel secure, because in the presence of security, there is absence and there is difficulty of intercommunal clashes, whereby you find cattle rearers, Fulani herdsmen fighting with farmers just because the cattle eat up their crops, for instance. And also, the sensitization of these villagers, you should also be able to make them aware that it is not just by coming to the cities that they will just find automatic available jobs waiting for them in the city. Some of them leave these cities, the villages rather, coming to the cities only to become hoodlums, only to be living under the bridges and living in slums and ghettos, engaging in crimes and violence, just like my colleagues here have mentioned on. And also, take on network and the networking system, the communication and the communication system. Also, it could the transportation system. This could also enhance them and their ability to be able to market their produce and the natural resources which is being gotten from these villages. With this, it is when all these points are being achieved, we will be able to stem the tide of rural-urban migration. And with this, we will be able to achieve the Vision 2020 by making it practicable. Thank you.
Very expand on existing courtesies. My name is Chibuzo from Babcock University, here to lend my voice against the motion that Nigeria's Vision 2020 is only practicable after the present rural-urban migration is reversed. My colleagues and I are saying that there is no need for the reversal of rural-urban migration in order for Nigeria to attain her Vision 2020. Based on this point, 1. Rural-urban migration is a continual process all over the world. 2. No country in the world is free from rural-urban migration, even the countries in the league of the top 20 economies. 3. All regions of the country cannot contribute equally to the gross domestic product. 4. Rural-urban migration promotes appreciation of landed property, which helps to develop the economy. And 5. Majority of Nigeria's population still reside in the rural areas. Firstly, in the Economist magazine dated October 17, 2012, the United Nations projected that about 65% and 86% of the population of developing and developed countries, respectively, would live in urban areas by the year 2050. This goes to show that rural-urban migration is a continual process all over the world. With this, I ask, should Nigeria, in order to attain her Vision 2020, spend her time and resources sending people back to the villages instead of focusing on issues that are important in achieving Vision 2020? The answer is no. Secondly, no country in the world is free from rural-urban migration, including those in the league of the top 20 economies. What Lagos is to Nigeria is what New York is to the United States of America, and Gujarat is to India. These countries rank amongst the world's top 20 economies. How then can you tell me that Nigeria's Vision 2020 is only practicable after rural-urban migration is reversed, when in spite of the continual rural-urban migration in these countries, they have been able to make the League of Nations, which Nigeria hopes to join by the year 2020. Next, all regions of the country cannot contribute equally to the gross domestic product. So why do we seek to balance the economy in less than 7 years when we know that this is not feasible? Rather, we should advocate that the government should ensure equitable distribution of wealth in all regions of the country. Furthermore, as people move from the rural areas to the urban areas, this leads to appreciation of landed properties, which contributes to the development of the economy, thereby making Vision 2020 a reality. Finally, in calling for the reversal of rural-urban migration, some may argue that it leads to the depletion of the labor force present in the rural areas. But we know that not less than 70% of the Nigerian population reside in rural areas. This means that the rural areas are not disadvantaged regarding the availability of workforce needed to drive the agricultural sector and the cottage industries. Consequently, there is no need for the reversal of rural-urban migration in order for Nigeria to attain her Vision 2020. We have spoken of the advantages of rural-urban migration. We have also told you that with or without the reversal of rural-urban migration, Nigeria can still attain her Vision 2020. We hereby submit that there is no need for the reversal of rural-urban migration in order for Nigeria's Vision 2020 to be practicable. Thank you.
Thank you. We have listened to the debaters marshal out the point. Now we'll give each side 3 minutes to make their rebuttals and recap of the points. So we start with Western Delta University. You have 3 minutes. Thank you very much.
Firstly, I'll be asking, Ilisan Remo, is it a city or a village? Is it a city or a village? Okay, but my colleague has traveled all the way from the urban area to come and get solid education in a village. Okay. Secondly, he talked about healthcare services. Already we know that we have poor health system of education in Nigeria. So why are you telling me that there are more better healthcare services in the city? Education generally, poor health services in Nigeria. If not, if there are good health services, why do we have to still go abroad for medical checkup? Secondly, talking about good education, like I just mentioned, he came all the way from where he was, urban area, to school in a rural area. Thirdly, supposed to set up something that will impact the life of people, not expect them to give you a job. Currently, what is the second speaker? He said capital flight. Capital flight has nothing to do with rural area. Are you telling me that Nigeria and rural areas are not part of the Nigerian vision? Are you sidelining the villagers as not being important? Because if you call capital flight, calling and investing in the life of the rural people, capital flight, then you have mistaken it. So thirdly, talking about the fourth speaker, you said something about that there is no need to reverse it. That means there's no need to improve these rural areas. Okay, can you compare central London and Kent? Kent is a rural area in London. You can't compare central London and you can't see the difference because both sides are developed. So if you are saying we should develop only one part of Nigeria, what happens to another part? How then can we attain this vision we're talking about? Also, talking about, she said we have to stop it. The topic said reverse. It never said, we were not concentrating on stopping it. It said reversing it. This urban places, why can't this technology come to the villages? Why can't they build industries? After all, most of our universities are in rural areas. My university is in the rural area. But crying out loud, in my area, if you enter Ohara, you won't even believe it's a village because Remo Airport is there, which has boosted development. Western Delta is there, it has boosted development. There are several banks, UBA, what are you talking about? So this development coming to the rural area can also help the nation.
Please, I know we are all passionate about this topic, but please do not react to what they say because it can interfere, like they can forget. So please, thank you. On that note, I'd like to call on the representative from Babcock University.
Standing on existing protocols, I'd like to react to the several things I've heard here today. Now, first of all, I'll be answering the question whether Remo is a village or a city. Well, I think geography, and there are three parts of the city. It's of a country. It's either it's urban, suburban, or rural. And then this place is classified as suburban and not rural. Please note that. Secondly, this is also proof to show that the rural areas we're talking about are being developed already. And so if the development is ongoing, then there's no need to reverse the situation. Thirdly, I'll be talking about the topic. The topic says that the Nigerian Vision 2020 is only practicable after the reversal of the rural-urban migration. And simple English connotes that when they say reverse and there are two things involved, it means it's the other way around. Therefore, they should be talking about urban-rural migration. And that is not what we have heard today. We have heard rather something else. Fourthly, I'll be talking about travel medicine and how it is being depleted by the fact that there's rural-urban migration. And I don't know how many of us stay in the urban areas, but in the Lagos that I stay, I know I can still get all of this travel medicine by the side of my house if you stay around me. Now, fifthly, I'll be talking about the fact that there are also professors that have carried on research in these areas, and it's not an issue at all. I would also be hitting the issue of Chinua Achebe. I'm sorry to say that Chinua Achebe never wrote any of his books from the village. He was in the city when he was writing his book, and he got his education from the urban areas. I would also be talking about the fact that the second speaker has listed a lot of things like infrastructural challenge, overcrowding, the emergence of ghettos, family structures, and epidemics. But all of these are not as a result of rural-urban migration. Rather, it is only as a result of the fact that our states have refused to have the planning, the necessary planning. Oh, thank God for Lagos State that has recently built the Ego Atlantic City, which is a welcome development for those people that are going to be living in Lagos, being an urban city. It will give room for about 150,000 residents and about 350,000 commuters. That is a state that knows how to plan. When we have in Nigeria that can keep on such planning projects, then we can see that our 2020 is about to begin and not the reversal of the system. Thank you.
My colleagues and I are saying today that there is no need for urban-rural migration for the vision to be attained. As we can see from Ogun State that at one time, Mowe was a rural area, but because of natural displacement of individuals moving to Lagos, Mowe today has developed into a suburban area. Therefore, evaluation